Hi everybody, it's Gilda. We're going to do a decoupage pumpkin today. We're going to do one for Thanksgiving. So I found these really cute napkins at Hobby Lobby, and we're going to put this on our pumpkin. So we're going to start by dividing the napkin up. So we're going to cut it. And you actually would get 4 different pumpkins done out of one napkin. And then we're going to take it this way and divide it again. And now we got to separate it. I think this is probably a 3-ply napkin. It feels pretty heavy. So just get in a corner with a pair of tweezers and pull it. There we go. And pull it apart. You can't apply it with all of these attached or it will not work. So let's see if there's another ply on here. Yes, there is. So definitely a 3-ply napkin. So make sure that you get all the plies off. It should be pretty transparent when you're done. Shouldn't see any cloudiness to it. Okay, and then once we have all of that pulled off, we're going to distress these edges so it doesn't look like, I'm just going to tip you down a little bit more. Doesn't look like it's just flat on there. So the way that we do that is we take the little stiff bristle brush, get some water into it, and then just wet the edges and pull. Don't wet too far in, but just the very tip of it, and then pull it. And that will rough up these edges so it blends better into the piece. Okay, then turn it, do the bottom side. And just uneven. You want this uneven. That's what you want. So when it goes on, it will blend in with the background and look like you hand painted this on there. This is a really fun piece to do. And we're going to do this on all 4 sides. So just a little bit of water and then pull it with your finger. That's all we're looking to do. And I decided to go a little bit lighter on this pumpkin than I have with some of my other ones, just for a change of pace. Okay, so now we've got it all ripped. I'm going to set this aside so it dries a little bit. Okay, guys, Gilda messed up. She wasn't thinking all the way through. I don't want you to apply this until the color wash on there, until we get the napkin on. And I would tell you to put the napkin on this side, but I didn't leave myself enough room. And the reason I don't have you put it on here over the brown is because when you put it over a color, it really gets dark. So I don't want you to do that. So I'm going to do it on my opposite side of the pumpkin, even though it's the wrong side for me. Let me pull this up a little bit so you can see. So what I want you to do is on the right side of the pumpkin, you're going to put your napkin and put little marks with a pencil approximately where this napkin is going to lay. So I'll put a little mark here, little mark here at the top, little mark here at the bottom, and a little bit mark on this side. I don't think I have enough. No, I know I don't on the other side. I went halfway. So it's going to go on the back side of this, which will be okay. This is only my sample anyway. So after you get your 4 marks on, we're going to take some Mod Podge. And you'll have a little container of the Mod Podge. And we're going to dump it in. Okay. And we're going to use the stiff bristle fan. So I got to wash it out because I got brown in here. Because I was a step ahead of myself. And we're going to put the Mod Podge right where we made the 4 marks. So we're going to do it here. Keep it right in between those marks. If you get it outside the mark, it's okay. It eventually will cover, but it's easier to dry brush if we don't have the Mod Podge on the outer parts of this. So we're going to give it 1 coat. We gave it 1 coat of the Mod Podge. Make sure you get it down in those cracks and crevices. I want 1 coat on there. And then we're going to take the napkin and we're going to fold it in half. Let me move this out here so you can see. We're going to fold it in half and then lay it from the center out onto the pumpkin. I'm going to stand up for this so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to lay it down. I mean, normally you could sit, but because I'm trying to get this in camera view, you're going to have to stand. So you're going to lay it down and be real careful with it at this point because this napkin is really delicate. And then lightly press with your hand. Do not use your fingers because you will rip it, okay? So we're going to press it down with our hand. Use the palm of your hand and press it very lightly. Then we're going to take the hairdryer and dry it. Okay, I think I got it pretty well down. And now we're going to dry it with the hairdryer. So turn your hairdryer on hot and high. Okay, so we've got 1 coat on here. And now we're going to press it a little bit. And now we're going to put another coat of Mod Podge on top of that. And we're going to do this 5 times. It looks like under here I don't have any Mod Podge. So I'm going to re-pull this, put it down. There we go. Okay. And we're going to give this 5 coats. So 4 more coats on top of here. So we're going to put a coat on. We're going to dry it with the hairdryer and then push it down with the palm of your hand. Do not use your fingers through these steps. I'll show you one more drying, and then I'm going to turn camera off and come back after I got it all on. There's no sense in you sitting here watching me do this 4 times. Okay. Now we're going to dry it again. And then push it with the palm. You see what I'm doing? With the palm of your hand into those cracks and crevices. Okay, Make sure it's down. It's going to look cloudy. Don't worry about the cloudiness. I'm not concerned at all. After 24 hours, this will dry. So I'm going to go back and do this 4 more times or 3 more times, and then I'll come back and show you what we do next. Okay, guys, we got all of the coats on here. A couple things. I tore the napkin a little bit right there. I'm going to go back and put some oranges in there and fill that in, and you will never notice it. So if you rip your napkin, do not fret. Make sure it still looks cloudy. We use a matte decoupage. It will dry clear. It may take up to 24 hours, but this will dry clear. I still have some cloudy spots on here, but it will dry clear. So once we've got the napkin all on, all of our coats put on, now we're going to go back and put the brown color wash on. So back to where I goofed up in the beginning, we're going to go. So I'm going to wash the Mod Podge out of this brush and then dry it a little bit. Just getting one step ahead of myself. Okay, so now we're going to go back and we're going to put the Mod Podge on. And we'll take it right up to the edge of the napkin. Now you can see where I got a little over with my decoupage, with the Mod Podge. It looks lighter. It's okay. Don't even fret about that because it will all blend in the end. So we're going to go right up to the napkin and put this brown color wash on. So we're using $4.89 for our wash. I just got it a little bit lighter than I normally would. I just wanted this a different color pumpkin. Normally I use the $4.95 when I do a brown wash, but today I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this a little bit different. Okay, so we got one coat of the color wash all over him. Let me make sure I don't have any white spots. There's one right there. You want to make sure that you always have all of the white spots filled in because they will stand out otherwise. Okay, and today for my oranges, I chose a little bit something different. I chose, I'm going to start with OS 484, which is Persimmon. That's going to be my first coat. So we're going to dry brush that on first. And we're using this series of 3 dry brushes by Creative Paradise, an 8, a 5, and a 3. Today we'll probably only use the 8 out of there. But the biggest round brush you have for the piece that you're doing. It's always good advice. And make sure you have a good... we ran into there a little bit. Let me see if I can get that off. If not, we will go back and touch that up. Yep. Well, you'll see all the mistakes today, so you'll know how to correct them. Just ran a little bit of the color wash ran down. So I'm going to take and go over that letter a little bit so it stands out better. Okay. So we're going to start with 484. And we'll put it on our palette here, which is our paper plate. And we're going to use the number 8 round. And those of you that haven't dry brushed before, we dip the brush into the color. We don't wet the brush at all. Work it down on a paper towel. So it looks like there's not a whole lot of color left in the brush, and then we start dry brushing. Now, dry brushing is done in coats, layered. So don't try to get it really orange all in the beginning because it's not going to happen. It's done in layers. And we're going to just go around the entire pumpkin. We're not going to do the stem in this orange, just the pumpkin itself. So eliminate your stem. We're going to put some fall leaves around this and a little bow, so you actually won't even tell that I got this on backwards. You and I will know, but anybody looking at it just will not. Work in the same direction when you're dry brushing, up and down, and do a little section at a time until you get completely around the pumpkin. Don't cross hatch this. Stay straight up and down. So I don't want you going this way and then this way. Work it all in the same direction. I'm going to go around this one more time, all the way around. So we're back at the beginning where I started. I'm going to take this all the way around again. I'm going to go with a smaller brush. I got the 5 here, that's what I'll use. And I'm going to put that color in that where I ripped that pumpkin a little bit. We're going to throw some orange in there. And by the time that dries, you will not be able to tell. So all will be good. So there, you know, you can correct mistakes. It's not the end of the world. And make sure you get yourself clean spots on your paper towels. Otherwise, you're just picking the color back up when you're working it down. So you don't end up with too much on the brush at the same time. Your first coat is, your first color is your most important color. Everything else depends on that base. So make sure that you get a good base coat for your first color. So probably 2 to 3 times around, depending. This is probably going to go twice. Okay, I think we're looking pretty good. We got a good first base on here. So now we're going to go to 438. It's going to be our second color, orange peel. And I'm not going to wash the brush out in between this. We're in the same hues, so we're going to leave it alone. Get a clean paper towel. And do exactly the same thing. And you see how that color starts to blend? We're not covering up the entire color underneath. We want some of that to come through, so don't think that you need to cover all that. We don't. We're just highlighting. See? Looks really good. And this one we'll probably only do once. I'll take a look at it as we get around. See if I feel I want to add a second coat. But from what I'm seeing now, my answer is probably no. going to take that small brush and go back in on that orange where I messed up. I ripped it a little. So we're going to go with the little lighter orange and add a little bit of that to this pumpkin. Perfect. And I don't think we need to do anything else to it. I think we're going to be okay there. All right, I think we are good with this color. And now I'm going to add a little bit of 571, which is curry. Kind of a cross between the yellow and the orange. Again, we're not going to clean the brush out in between. We're going to leave it. Dip in, work it down, same way we've been doing. Work it down on that paper towel and dry brush on top. And you see how we blended that right in there, so it looks like you've hand painted this. And you can still see all the different colors. You can see every layer of color that I put on there. One does not cover the other one. You should be able to see all the dimensions. The brown, a little bit of the brown, and the two oranges underneath, and now this curry. All right, let me turn it around and take a look at it. I think we're good. More right in that crack. I think we look pretty good. All right, we're gonna take 466, which is avocado, and we're gonna dry brush up the stem. And now I will wash the brush out a little bit. Okay, clean paper towel, and I'm gonna go to the 466. Dip in, work it down, and dry brush up the stem. So we're going to do one coat of the green, and then we're going to go back with the medium brown and do a coat of medium brown. And the reason that I do this is because when pumpkins dry, when you actually buy them from wherever you get your real pumpkins, that stem is no longer green. That stem is a dry brown color with maybe a little bit of the green showing through, but mainly brown. So I like to get a green base on them, and then dry brush a little bit lighter brown on top. Okay, I think our green is good. And now we're going to go with 471 and dry brush a little bit of that on top. So let's grab 471, which is medium brown, and dry brush a little bit of that. And that just gives it a nice dried up stem kind of color. A little bit of the green still coming through, like it isn't completely dried up yet. Okay, I think we're pretty good here, guys. I think we've got it. All right, right here, where that brown ran, I'm going to take a little bit of a light blue, and I'm going to dry brush a little bit of blue over that to hide that. And then the P on my happy, it ran into that too. So I'm going to use a little detail brush with a little rusty and go over that a little. But let's get this glue done first. Maybe a little bit of white. And then I think we should be good. So there's always ways to correct things. Do not panic if something happens. Okay, I think we're good there. So now I'm going to take a little bit of a rust color and go over this P and this Y. The rest of it will dry clear. I'm not worried about the rest of it. That may not be bad. Let me mix a little bit. I'm going to send a little bit of 484 with you guys, just in case this should happen to you. You'll be able to do any corrections, and if not, you only get a little bit of it. You won't need much. I'm going to mix this with a little bit of this orange, and I think we should be fine. But I think 484 will be good. All right, let me turn this so I can actually see it, and I'm going to go over that letter. So that stands out a little bit better. All right, I think the rest of it is okay. Like I said, this will dry clear. I'm not really worried about that. Go over this H. Okay, so we're basically done with our painting. We got everything the way we want that on this. So now we're just gonna glue on some fall leaves. Okay guys, my glue gun's heating up. We're gonna do a little raffia bow. So I'm gonna show you how to do it. I'll make them, you'll have them in the kit, but I'm gonna show you how to do it anyway. So it's just a loop and then a loop in the opposite direction. Pinch it in the middle, and then another loop on this side, hold it, pinch it, another loop on the opposite side, and I'll do this about 4 times on each side. So you'll have 8 loops total, and then you cut it, and then you cut another little piece, and then you knot that around the middle. It's a regular knot. Okay, 1 and 2. Okay, and then you just have a little raffia bow, or a little jute bow, I should say. It's not really raffia, it's jute. And I cut this just a little bit down. Okay, and then you'll get some fall leaves. So we're just gonna glue these on. And it's gonna be more whatever you like. See if we got hot enough here. Yeah, we're getting there. All right, so we're gonna just glue them in. And I don't wanna cover up my Happy Thanksgiving, so I'll put my bow in the middle and I'll add these off to the side. And I've got some little ones here that I actually could put more towards the center. And then I'll add my bow. And I think we'll be good. Let me look. Yep, just a couple leaves. Won't take much. I'll add a smaller one down the side a little bit. Okay, so that's basically going to be it. That's your pumpkin. You're ready for Thanksgiving. Make a nice little centerpiece either for your table, a coffee table, an end table, anywhere you want to set it. But like I said, this will all dry. When that dries completely, that'll be perfectly clear. You will not see that Mod Podge. It'll dry clear. Trust me on this one. It takes about 24 hours, but it absolutely dries clear. All right, guys, thanks for watching.